Oh my god. So here we are. Actually, this video is really relevant because of the jersey I'm wearing. This guy signed a big contract, and I know everyone's just dying to hear from Vizquel Jordan. You know, me, big old me. What do you think of the Cavs signing Donovan Mitchell to a $273 million contract extension over the course of 4 years? That number is so big right now in my head that I literally haven't even done the math for for the extension and what that looks like. Oh my god, bro, like fuck. Okay, let's get it over with. I'm gonna pull up a calculator real quick. We're gonna tell you how much that is per year. And I hate the contract. And I know you're saying to yourself, why do you hate the contract? Well, one, this is the first deal. This is the first deal the Cavs have made this offseason. They signed Donovan Mitchell to this extension. Everything else that they've done this offseason has been just letting niggas walk. And they let niggas walk because they had to pay Donovan Mitchell and they have to pay James Harden. They're trying to figure out a deal with James Harden. I have not seen the end result of the deal. Until I get the confirmation with that, I do not know what's going on. And two, more importantly, even though Donovan Mitchell has been aggressively in pursuit of recruiting LeBron James, and that's also another reason why I haven't made a video in quite some time, he hasn't made it any more apparent that he's going to be on this team next year or that he's not. So, yeah, both of the basketball jerseys that I own were kind of up in the air as far as what they were doing. That's $68 million that season. Holy fuck, man. Oh, by the way, so let me just throw in a fun fact because Shams reported on this. Apparently, Jalen Brunson throughout all of the finals and all of that playoff run, had a wrist injury, a left wrist injury. And by the way, Brunson actually uses his left quite a bit, so yeah, that's something. He could have apparently Mitchell could have waited until next summer to have an additional fifth season worth $80 million, but decided to commit early to a long-term extension on the first day he was eligible for a contract to stamp. Now, hearing that news makes me happy that he didn't go and be like, wait another year, play this year out, and then get a fifth year on his deal and get $80 more million attached to it. That would have made it 273. That would have made it what like the super maxes normally are around this time, like 350, which would have been the biggest contract in NBA history. Probably by the time of him signing it. I'm not like, obviously you have to let this guy, you have to pay this guy, right? My thing is like Cleveland does not have a top 10 player in the league, a consistent top 10 player in the league. And I truly think you need a superstar to win a championship. At the bare minimum, you need a superstar, and then you need a roster full of a deep roster. That has literally been how literally every single championship team, with the sole exception of the 2020 Lakers, have won since the Golden State Warrior dynasty ended. It's been one superstar and a cast of depth. 2019 Raptors, Kawhi was a superstar that year, cast of depth. 2020 Lakers, they had LeBron and AD. This is the only team that I feel like violates the pattern. Next year, Milwaukee, Giannis, and a cast of depth. A cast of depth that also fits really well is another thing. The depth for the most part is defense. The year after that, 2022, the Celtics. I said the Celtics. The Golden State Warriors versus Celtics. Steph Curry, cast of defense, and he was carrying the offense. Yeah, Wiggins also helped offensively as well. I don't want to get it twisted. Wiggins, Middleton, all of those guys are great second options. And I want to say Fred VanVleet was a second option for that championship team in offensively at least for the Raptors. But I could be wrong about that. It might be Kyle took a little bit more shots. It could be Siakam. I'm not sure. I don't think Siakam was developed as he was at that point in 2019. 2019 is really when I started watching basketball with a critical lens, so I could be wrong about those years. In 2023, we obviously have the Nuggets winning their championship, Jokic, and a cast of help. Jamal Murray, second option. Next year after that, we have 2024. We have the Celtics winning, and then I think Jaylen Brown is the best second option ever. He won the Finals MVP, and best second option in that stretch, by the way. Just in case we were unclear about that, because we had Wiggins was an All-Star that year, I guess. Fred VanVleet, cool. Chris Middleton, who's been an All-Star previously, that's fine. By the way, they were like at that point in time in history, people were like, Chris Middleton might not be enough to win a championship. He might be enough for a second option to win a championship. Crazy how like every year since has been like, oh yeah, you need a Chris Middleton caliber guy in this type of season that Chris Middleton was having to have a second guy, right? That's neither here nor there. I just don't think the Cavaliers have that really, really dominant player. He's not a LeBron James. He's not a Steph Curry. He's not a I don't even know if we should be entertaining talks between him and Jalen Brunson. I feel like they're compatible conversations, but I've just seen Jalen Brunson do it a lot more often recently. I think him and Halliburton are around the same conversation, but I don't think he's had the same run Halliburton even had in 2025. Like, I don't know. I think the East is getting better. I'm not really happy with the Cavaliers roster as it currently stands. They lost out on a lot of players that I thought fit their team very well. Obviously, that they had to do that to get some salary cap flexibility and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure this takes us out of the LeBron James sweepstake, which I'm not going to lie. The things that this roster needs are more playmaking, right? And more slashing, right? And this would also help in the shooting department because LeBron, despite the fact that I don't think he had a greatest shooting season last year, I think he would still be a great shooter this season. So there's that. And also, LeBron could get to the free throw line. Let's talk about DeMar DeRozan. DeMar got waived by the Sacramento Kings, which is crazy because he's a top 10 scorer of all time, which is crazy because he's DeMar DeRozan. No hate to DeMar DeRozan at all. I don't want to be weird about it. It's just like, that's kind of crazy that DeMar DeRozan is going to be a top 10 scorer of all time. Never would have expected that from him. Especially considering I don't think he's even like a top 3 scorer in that draft class. Just factually, do not think he's a top 3 scorer in that draft class. Because it's Steph, James Harden, and I'm sure there's one more guy who's above DeMar DeRozan as far as scoring. Literally anyone you just like slap one name in front of him and just like give them like a decent 3-point shot, that just makes him a better scorer than him. He's being waived. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do with the rest of his career. I think he's going back to the Six. I think he'll be going back to Toronto, probably the last year out there. I don't really think they can use a guy like DeMar DeRozan, but that's what has been rumored. The entire starting five that helped the Lakers win a playoff run are just no longer in purple and gold like at all. Rui Hachimura was the last guy to go, and he decided he was not leaving LA no matter what. He said, I'm going to go play for the Clippers. The Clippers roster is actually very interesting. Darius Garland is on that team now. Obviously, he's been on that team for quite some time. Darius Garland, Brandon Ingram, and Rui Hachimura is not a great team, don't get it twisted, but I feel like this is the starting pieces to be something decent in the next couple of years. I have some statements from what they thought about Giannis Antetokounmpo and how much he meant to the franchise. That's like nothing to talk about there. Don't even want to bring it up. Let me tell you how much the deal for him signing to the Clippers. It's 2 years, $28 million. I know Lakers fans probably would have just loved to have him back. I don't know why. I really don't know why Robert Brinkley didn't want him back, but hey. Quentin Post is going to be a Memphis Grizzly. 3 years, $30 million. $10 million a season, not bad. They are really getting rid of like all of the youth on this team to be fucking mid as fuck, man. I don't even know what to say, man. A lot of this news is not very exciting. It's pretty old news at this point. But again, I couldn't be bothered to like talk about a lot of these moves. They just like they were not pulling in views. I know for a fact they were not going to pull in views, and I know for a fact that like I didn't have anything interesting to say about them. Patrick Ewing is going to be a assistant coach for Brian Keith. I'm assuming just straight up, the second Brian Keith underperforms at this point, they're going to fire him, and that means that Patrick Ewing is going to be the first in line to get that job. Because like I just, who the fuck knows or gives a shit about Brian Keith as a coach in the NBA? Be honest. And then with Patrick Ewing, he's obviously coached at Georgetown. He's got the respected players around the league, at least. I think that can be something. He could be a player coach. That's something. And I mean forward player, current coach. Because not the traditional player coach thing, archetype does not exist anymore. Yeah, that's something that could happen. I don't know, dog. Like, don't really care. It's still the Wizards at the end of the day. I do not think this is going to be impactful enough. I think that it's probably great to have this guy on the roster for Alex Sarr. He can get him to be a good big, but he can't get him to be a great big. I'm going to be completely honest. I do not view, I know, and I know this is stupid, and I know people are going to say, like, how could you even say that? I am going to be completely honest with you. Patrick Ewing is overrated as fuck. Overrated as fuck, man. I don't know how long. I've held this opinion for quite some time. Y'all be talking about Patrick Ewing all of the fucking time throughout the 90s. Motherfucker, was he a top 3 big in the 90s? No. They had Baby Shaq in that era. Better than Ewing, bro. Hakeem and David Robinson, better than Ewing. Tim Duncan, better than Ewing. Early Tim Duncan, mind you. I just want to point that out. Early Tim Duncan. Better than Patrick Ewing. And I know we're like, oh, well, you're really going to compare early Tim Duncan to Patrick Ewing? Yes. Yes, I am. Now what? Now what, bitch? Patrick Ewing is overrated as fuck. And that's just the 90s. Then when you compare him to all the rest of the bigs all the time, where the fuck do you even have Patrick Ewing all the time? Be honest. You probably don't have him over Karl Malone. And I think Karl Malone is a despicable human being. But if we're talking about production on the basketball court, Patrick Ewing? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You can tell the free agency moves are not as crazy because I'm talking about shit like that, bro. Josh Okogie, 2 years, Utah Jazz. How is he still in the league? No jump shot, just perimeter defense and effort. That should not be enough to be in the league, especially as offensively geared as the league is right now. So a guy who should be in the league. Andre Drummond to the New York Knicks to basically take up that spot that Mitchell Robinson left. This team has no defense now. They are full on offense. Good for them though. Jordan Miller, yeah, he's coming back to be a Los Angeles Clipper. 3 years, 15.3 million. Who is this guy, Doug? I don't know. He's certainly a serviceable NBA player. Don't get it twisted. I've seen him around, but like, who? Do y'all even care, right? Drummond had been traded to the DeAndre Ayton had been traded to the Wizards for Jaden Hardy, two Wizards second round picks. When I saw him opt in, I was like, "You're done, buddy." Like, I know you gotta opt in because you're probably out of the league if you don't opt in. But like, brother, get a load of this guy, bro. Holy shit. Jaden Hardy was obviously a part of that deal that and the Mavericks deal when he was traded with Anthony Davis to Washington alongside with D'Lo. D'Lo, by the way, who he's still on the Wizards. Man, D'Lo and DeAndre Ayton with Anthony Davis, bro. Like, oh my god. Like, yeah, the Hornets had to blow it up because the rest of the East was getting better, and I said that that a part of that was the Wizards are also trying to get better, but like, still gonna be the Wizards at the end of the day. There's nothing in the world that can make me care about the Wizards, man. Caleb Love has agreed to a 2-way deal with the 76ers. Love, who averaged 10.4 points and 2.2 assists as a rookie. Huh, not bad. Not bad. I'm not gonna lie. That's solid. That's actually pretty solid. Can't lie. Okay, Charlotte again. I was saying that y'all are being way too hard on Charlotte. Here's another move that actually helps them a lot. Houston is trading Dorian Finney-Smith and 3 second-round picks to Charlotte. And I know you're saying to yourself, 3 second-round picks? First of all, they're taking on a bad contract in Dorian Finney-Smith. They're not going to be good anytime soon. This is not a big deal for them. This is fine. And second, more than likely, this tells me that Dorian Finney-Smith is not going to be around for much longer. Dorian did get a contract extension last year, but this team is taking on way worse contracts than that. Remember how long they had fucking Batum on the roster? This is fine. They're getting some value out of this. Javonte Green has agreed to a 1-year, $3.95 million deal to return with the Detroit Pistons. I think it's literally just because he wants to be with JB Bickerstaff, because I think he could have gotten more on the market. He could have gotten more on the market, but he's probably just happy to be playing fucking for JB Bickerstaff. That's nice. Good for him. He's a very solid replacement player. Celtics have picked up I always say his name wrong every single time. Portugal's finest, Nimes Kieta. You know what I'm talking about. Number 88 for his deal. Good for him. Yeah. What? That's weird. I've never seen anything worded like this. The Celtics picked up his team option for the next season, and the sides added a 4-year, fully guaranteed through years 2031 after going to second. What the fuck is this? Why is this worded like this? Oh my god. Whatever. 56 years. He's adding 4 years, $56 million contract extension to the franchise. Cool, great. But like the way Shams worded this, terrible. Worse than Hitler. Terrible bad. Oh my god. This was a deal that I remember reading this on July 2nd, and I know it's been 5 days since this came out, and it's not even really like the craziest player of all time. Tari Eason got a bag. That shit. And yes, $20 million in big 2026 is nothing in NBA money. Like, it is nothing in solid NBA player money. Tari Eason is a solid NBA player. Don't get it twisted. I did not think that they were going to give this motherfucker 5 years. A 5-year contract. He was going to get a 5-year contract, bro. In $81 million. Like, this right here is guaranteed proof. And I thought for a fact, because of how disappointing Houston was in the playoffs and how terrible and shit butt voodoo butt ass that they had been in the playoffs, that Ime Udoka was going to be fired. The fact they gave Tari Eason this deal, yeah, Ime is not going anywhere anytime fucking soon. I thought he was getting fired after that shit. Because the way the Lakers played them, bro, you can't even just say he got out-coached. He got out-coached. His players were out-hustled. They were the fucking favorite in that series. And motherfuckers were like, oh, what? They were the favorite if KD wasn't going to be playing. I have news for you. The third option of the Lakers had to step in and be the first best player on the series. And the only reason you have any expectations for that motherfucker at all is because he's LeBron James. And even in the game where KD played, they were fucking embarrassed. But KD had played through an injury. And KD was really, really good at scoring there. You think if he was healthy, they would lost how many games? I think if you had Sengun on your roster, you would have lost all those fucking games. He is ass. And the fact that they haven't even thought about trading him is a sign that nobody fucking wants him. He is ass. I'm sorry this video has been mostly negative, but it's just like, who cares, dog? Billy Donovan has agreed to become the lead assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs. Head coach, Wisconsin. Yeah, when I saw this, I was just like, how does he have a job? Good old boys club. Anyway, Pat Spencer, the world's best lacrosse player, is going to be a Phoenix Sun. It's a 2-way contract with the Phoenix Suns. It does not say how much. For how much. Good for him, though. They're doing all of this to form the fucking unction, dog. Like, genuinely, what the hell? And again, we still don't know where LeBron is going. So teams that are making moves around LeBron James, bro, only one team can get LeBron. And it's also 2026, dog. It's 2026. I was born in 2003. LeBron James was drafted in 2003. It is 2026. Niggas are really excited for the LeBron James sweepstakes. That really tells me that you're a team that is super close to being a contender again, and that no one cares about you currently. And that if you get LeBron James on the roster, you're going to get so many ungodly expectations for you to do something, and you're probably not going to do anything because this team exists. The Miami Heat have Giannis now. I don't think that you're going to win against that team, Cleveland. I'm going to be honest. Actually, you might be able to beat that team, but like, really? That's the bar? I mean, Boston shot themselves in the foot. Cool. Indiana is still going to have to recover and figure out what the hell they're doing without a Benedict Mathurin on the roster and how the Zubac fits with them. I think the Zubac is fine and great. Not going to lie. But that's going on. You have Indiana's going to have to deal with Halliburton's recovery and how he's back. How just Andrew Nembhard goes back into his role. I thought I would see some more development out of him. I did not. Pascal Siakam was great last year, but is this team going to be good enough just with adding Halliburton back to be a good team, or were they really, really tanking? Yes, they were injured last season too. I don't want to get it twisted, but like, is just adding this team back together, like, is that enough? I don't know. Philly just added Dean Wade and got fucking Jaylen Brown. Are you better than that team? I don't know. New York is still New York. I don't think no one in the East can say that definitively they're better than that team, not even on paper. Like, Tyus Jones has a 1-year deal to return to the Denver Nuggets. I'm surprised he's played 12 seasons, man. Good for him. Slow-mo, 1 year, $3.9 million to the Toronto Raptors. This nigga just loves to play in cold, bro. Former San Antonio teammate of Kawhi Leonard, they're going to be reunited. Yeah. Anthony Simons is also going to be playing on Philly. This is literally just a better version of Quentin Grimes. And I know you're saying to yourself, Quentin Grimes is not all that. Yeah. And neither is Anthony Simons. They're both small guards who are not very good or active on defense, for that matter. And they were pretty much both overpaid at a certain point in time. The thing with Anthony Simons for me is he's younger. Or at least I think he is. And also, this deal is not terrible. 2 years, $12.3 million. That is so much less than what they were paying Quentin Grimes. And again, they shouldn't have lost out, and they shouldn't have given up on Jared McCain at all. He was the de facto rookie of the year before he got injured. They wouldn't even be having to worry about this. They could just add him to the roster and it'd be fine. Marvin Bagley is going to be a Denver Nugget. For as disappointing as Marvin Bagley's career has been so far, like as far as like how for where he was drafted and whatnot, can we like just, I know he's a bust, don't get it twisted, but like, are we surprised that he's been in the league this long? Like, he had to deal with Sacramento, he's had to deal with being a part of the shitty voodoo butt ass Dallas. He was a part of the Wizards. I am super happy for this guy to just be like not on the world's most dog shit team for once. Congratulations for him, man. Okay, so Dallas got Santi Aldama. I knew they were trying to shop him. Let's see. They got a 2031 first-round pick. Ooh, protected 30-round first-round pick from the Warriors. That could actually be very interesting and very useful. A lot of picks in that area and like time frame is being moved around right now. So when it comes down to it in like 5 years or 4 years really, and we're all looking together and we're like, what the hell is this shit going? What the fuck is going on with all these picks being moved? Oh my god! It's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see what's going on. I can't wait to see how they talk about that, to be honest. Dallas acquires a versatile forward as Memphis continues to stock draft capital. The deal allows the Grizzlies to preserve its full $29 million trade exception from the Jaren Jackson Jr. trade, which otherwise would have been reduced by their earlier offseason dealings. Not bad. Yeah, I think that's it. Those are all of the moves. See, again, I know you're saying to yourself, look how long you talked for this video. A lot of this video was me talking about literally unrelated things, but they're tangentially related things. I'm going to be honest. These are not very interesting moves. I think that this Donovan Mitchell is another piece that has been put on the board, but I think that this is a sign that a big fish is moving around. I had been holding out till LeBron James had made a video, but I cannot, as a Cleveland Cavaliers guy, like, not just address the elephant in the room. Yeah, we still haven't seen the James Harden deal, so there's something to be said about that. Normally, when teams make their first move in the offseason, something like this, they are following up very shortly afterwards with everything's going to be rapid. Like, it's like, hey, you just gave this guy this deal. I want my money. Bam, 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 and then we'll see all that. Speaking of bam, still no idea what the Miami's going to do. They lost Norman Powell for, like, nothing. Again, that was another core piece of why I thought they would be a pretty good team this year. He could play that Chris Middleton role for them. And I obviously don't think that Bam is fucking Brook Lopez, but I think he's a much better defender than Brook Lopez, and he also is much more versatile and doesn't have to play exclusively drop. So that'll be something like that. That'll be something very interesting to see. Actually, I think Brook Lopez is still in the league. Wow. Playing for the Clippers, that's something. I think the Clippers roster is actually very interesting. That's something to look out for. I think it's interesting. I don't think it's good by any means, but I think it's interesting. And a lot of coaches that I thought would be fired are just they're keeping their jobs. Tyronn Lue is still here. Man, Ime Udoka is still here. Man, I cannot believe Jamal Mosley was fired, but fucking Ime Udoka wasn't. I thought they were in the exact same situation. Billy Donovan finds another coaching job. Wow. Doc Rivers is no longer in the league. Thank God. I know you're saying to yourself, why are you covering all the coaches' moves? I'm really hinting towards the sequel video where I'm talking about all the coaching moves and where everyone is currently right now. Thiago Splitter got his deal in Chicago after Billy Donovan vacated the spot, and because Thiago Splitter vacated that spot, another assistant coach from the Timberwolves is able to get his old job. Yeah, those are going to be very interesting. Everything. I know everyone likes to say talent makes the team. When you don't have the world's greatest talent, point blank period, the next most important thing for this culture and developing the team is coaches. Because I know you're going to say to yourself, what about the roster constructors? What about the GM and all them? Hey, what about the scouts? Hey, come here. Let me tell you something. Those are never the guys that get fired first. So we're talking about the coaches. Yeah, we'll be talking about the coaches shortly. I have another ideas for videos for off season. I literally have my book, and tell you what the other things are going to do while the off season gets dry. But don't worry, I will still be making videos and all that stuff. With all that being said, goodbye.